Matthew Henry puts it this way: it's actions that matter. A farmer needs more than good intentions to have a great harvest. Oh, you're not hearing me in here. He has to sow well, and the generosity of his sowing will determine the abundance of his harvest. Paul takes that principle and applies it to life. Listen to this. He says, don't get stuck in the stage of coming to church and being a wishful thinker. And in whatever you do, don't be a minimalist. Be generous. Put your heart into it and give your best. Oh, come on in here, RPT. I've watched little children learning to dive into a pool. Are you listening? Some were fine, they did well. But others, a bit frightened, didn't get their heads down and their feet up. And it resulted in a dreadful belly flop into the water. Why? They did not commit to the dive, and the result was bad. Action, that's what Paul's talking about. Wholehearted action, that's what he urges from the church. Full commitment with everything that you have in life. Your time and your gifting and your education and your health and your energy. When you are going to do something, Paul says, pour yourself into it. Be generous. Action matters. Can I go there? The reason some of us are miserable and broke is because we are stingy. We come to church and pretend to be blessed and highly favored when the real truth is we're a hot mess. We use the name Seventh-day Adventist like it's supposed to make others feel we are somehow in a better position than they are. I know you're going to throw me out this church. But those who sow will not do it financially if they have never experienced being sown into. Mercy, Jesus. And experience the real power of what being a Christian means. And why should they give if no one has ever given to them? People who have seen the gospel change their lives will not only give of their money, but they will give their time. Oh, come on in here, somebody. And they will give their efforts. Why? Because when someone pours into them, they do not see church anymore. They see people who are desperate for change. But when you cannot see anything else but yourself and your hurts and your pain and all that you're going through, how do you have time for anyone else? Then you will sow sparingly for what God has ordained and sow bountifully into the flesh, but end up with a life that has profited you carnally, but spiritually you will be bankrupt. Whenever you sow in disobedience, your life will be a mess. True happiness comes from God blessing us, and then we in turn blessing others. Reaping comes from following the lead of the Holy Spirit. So, church, when we see those among us who are struggling to make ends meet. So, when we know for sure that our neighbor is in spiritual darkness. So when someone among us needs to be blessed because they have no food, they have no clothes, and they have no shelter. So when the man and woman of God is giving their all to reach out to the community. So when our children need someone to take the time to mentor them and guide them as they try to navigate through life. So when you know God has blessed you over and over again, give your opportunity, because when God has blessed you, you got to bless someone else. That's right. So not because you will receive something in return, but do it because the love of God is flowing through your life. What you put into life is what you get out of life. And too many of us have not sown into anyone or anything with total commitment, which has left us empty, miserable, and unhappy. But most of all, it leaves us as a selfish portrayer of the gospel. Point number 2.